Welcome everybody, my name is Michael, and today we are discussing about the Winklevoss brothers and Gemini laying off more than 10% of the workforce. This is similar to Carvana and many other tech companies. As of late, there's been 10, 15, even 20% of the workforce being laid off. And in many cases, it's hundreds or even thousands of people. In this case, the Winklevoss brothers are billionaires. The two of them are worth $3.7 billion. They've invested in crypto startups that later turned into pretty large companies such as BlockFi. They also have TaxBit. There's also a couple others. But number one is Gemini. They made their fortune. They were already millionaires before them, but they made their fortune from cryptocurrency after, what they're really famous for. They had millions of dollars from Facebook, the little settlement, and they used the millions of dollars to purchase a bunch of crypto, a bunch of Bitcoins, and from that they were turned into billionaires, and they started their own cryptocurrency exchange. And due to market conditions, they decided to lay off 10% of the workforce. They said they're in a period of contraction right now. The crypto markets have a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity. However, there's a lot of risk in this time period right now. Most likely everything is falling back. And it's not just in crypto, but in general, the whole world is sort of in a recession. A lot of people have been laid off from work, and especially the tech sector. Especially the tech sector and financial sector. So with cryptocurrency, it's kind of like the best of both worlds until it isn't. Now, whether they were supposed to lay off these people, that can be a different question. Some people always ask morally, is it right to lay off people if the company is successful, if they have a lot of money, if the owners have a lot of money? This is always a question of greed and profitability, and we don't really know what's going on inside of these companies. But a lot of people have noticed that over the past 3 years, Gemini has been on a hiring rampage. They have hired a bunch of people, and we know that, anytime a company grows too quickly, if you fall into a period like this one where there is a pretty big crash, from the all-time high of 69,000 plus in Bitcoin to falling back into the 20s. Now we're in the mid 30,000 to 31,000 range, kind of 30 and a half, 31,000. So we're doing better, but last week, 2 weeks ago, we weren't doing so hot. $800 billion just kind of evaporated, maybe even 900. So it is definitely frightening for a lot of crypto companies, and this is normal. You're going to see layoffs. You're going to see some fold. This is a $1 billion exchange. You're going to see smaller startups that are going to go bankrupt, and maybe those founders will go on to create some other crazy multi-billion-dollar startup in the future. But right now, this is just like 2018. You saw so many companies and so many investors lose out on money. This is just normal during these times. Some people have also taken another look at the fact that this is a company, like many startups, like many in crypto. These guys are billionaires. They know other billionaires. They know a lot of venture capitalists. They know a lot of angel investors. And whenever a company is tied deeply with VC funds, then it becomes a question of profitability and how much money do you need to continue running for the next year or two before, obviously, you'll need more investment funds. And in order to get those investment funds, if it's in a period of instability like this, you have to have a spreadsheet of how much you're making, and if, unfortunately, your labor force is costing too much, it's easier to just lay off 10% and you don't have to worry about that. In many cases, again, most of these people are being overpaid. You had a lot of hires from 2020 and 2021, and most of these guys are probably in the six-figure range. So when you're talking about, let's say, 100 people who each of them averaging out between $60,000 and $140,000 annually, most likely, closer to the $100,000 range and above, and some of these senior devs making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, maybe even more with bonuses. I had a manager of IT recently that purchased a car from me. This guy was making easily $500,000, and he's still young. When he's going to be older, he's going to be making over $1 million, and he's working for a company that we're not even talking about like crypto or financial sector. This is a clothing company. I'm not going to name it, of course, for privacy reasons, but this is just a normal clothing company, and he does, IT management over there. This guy's going to be multi-millionaire by the time he's in his 40s, 50s, 60s, however old he is. So it's pretty crazy how much these guys make. Now, unfortunately, there is a segment in the crypto market where the senior devs and really important positions where it's really tough to find these people are going to be making bank, because if you have an extreme amount of knowledge, you are going to be secure. But most people are not necessary. If you're working HR, if you're working in the bottom ranks of development, if you're working any job that's easily replaceable, boom, 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 in order to keep the VCs happy because you want more funding, you're going to get rid of these people. And there's a next wave of new hires. At any point in time, you're able to get these individuals. So that's why this happens time and time again. The same thing happened at Coinbase. The same thing happened at a lot of exchanges. And it is going to continue to occur as long as, it's companies doing what companies do. And it doesn't matter who the owner is. You could be Bill Gates. It could be Steve Jobs. You could be Elon Musk, the world's richest man. And that's going to happen. And speaking of Elon Musk and Tesla, same thing has happened many times over there. So that's pretty much that. The markets are kind of in a lull right now, but there's not too much instability over the past couple of days. It's been relatively stable, I guess you could say. It's above $30,000 for Bitcoin and $1.25 trillion for 20,000 cryptos out there. Woohoo! It's not that bad. The crypto fear greed index, it was worse. It was worse last week, worse last month. Going into summer here, yay, maybe things will get better. Who knows? Usually after summer, we see a period of people going crazy towards the holidays. If you're freaking out about this, wait till you hear about seasonal positions. Yeah, so there's not too much stability unless you're a higher ranking developer in crypto land, because it is sort of seasonal. It's seasonal based off of the markets. If you're in a period where everybody's making a ton of money, you're probably going to make a lot of money too. If you're not, well, you're doing something wrong. If suddenly everything goes downhill, that's when hits the fan and the going gets tough, and most people are not going to be able to continue their standards of life that when Bitcoin was rising and everything's going crazy. The golden paved roads. Yes. Well, anyways, let's prepare ourselves for when things are better. I'm excited for the future. I can't wait till we hit that legendary 100K mark eventually. It's going to happen. Maybe this year, maybe not. But hey, we're already halfway through the year. Pretty exciting. Counting down towards Christmas, huh? Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned with me. I'm tired. I'm heading to bed. Have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. And if you're working for Gemini and you just got fired, well, hey, you got a lot of experience. I'm sure you're able to find yourself a nice job regardless. There's still plenty of companies hiring out there. And number one thing is gain more experience. Bye.